Hi everyone, it's Virtualee and I have a new build for you guys today. I found this blueprint on Pinterest and it's gorgeous. I try my darndest to recreate it. I fell in love with it so hard and I really should have saved it for my Barbie Let's Play Drifter challenge, but I was so stoked about it. I did it beforehand. I'll have to find something else to do for PG Pie. But I hope you guys like it. You know me and roofs. I struggled a little bit with this one. I actually saw a tutorial on how to do these Victorian concaved type roofs and I figured out in the end. It looks kind of wonky now, but I promise it does come together. I do have a little bit of an issue with the roof in the back part of this build, but I also figure it out in the end and you'll see me farting around with it and trying to make peace with it a little bit in hopes that it'll all come together, but it does in the end. It just doesn't right away. It was frustrating. Roofs are so frustrating for me, but I hope that you guys know that my friend who is a YouTuber as well as a wonderful builder, her name is Colorful Sims. She is starting a building tutorial on her channel. I'll link her channel down below, and I'm learning a lot from just watching her build and watching her tutorials. Another great simmer to watch who has tutorials out there is James Turner. His channel is called Sim Supply, and he really does have a lot of great tutorials out there. So if you like the thought of building and wanna try it out for yourselves and you have questions about different aspects of building in The Sims 4, those are two Sims that you can absolutely check out. But really, watch all the great builders. You have the Great Symphony, you have Foslu, you have Simoniona. Just downloading her builds and taking a look at them help you out. As you notice, I went from really tall walls to medium-sized walls because as soon as I started placing objects in the porch there, I was like, holy bat cave, this is a really tall house and is very unnecessary for the type of build that this is. So I put a lot of filigree on the top of the roofing in the gazebo type Victorian section of the cottage. I love the way that turned out. I've never used filigree before in the roof section and the column section, but I really like the way that looks. In a few minutes you'll find that I start decorating the interior of the house. It turns out to have a really nice color scheme. So the color scheme that I went with is cream and green are the two major colors that I focused on, and then I have some yellow and orange accents here and there. I was originally going to do like a bright red and cream, but I like to keep the kind of same concept and theme that the house has outdoors, which is cream and green. I just brought them inside. It just flows on the inside. I do a lot of the yard work originally in the front of the house because, as you noticed, I started in I think this is a 19 by 20 lot. Very small lot, and I wasn't going to have a backyard, so I focused a lot of the backyard quote-unquote stuff in the front of the home. But then you'll notice that I upload the house and download it on a 30 by 40 lot, and then I have all this backyard I didn't know what to do with, and eventually I figure out what I want to do with it. But again, this is the type of house that you guys can cater to whatever it is that you want to do when you download it. So if you want to completely change the backyard at the end of it, feel free to do whatever you want to the build. If you'd like to download it and check it out yourself, you're more than welcome to customize it at your leisure. Have fun with it. I certainly did. I fart around with the bushes a lot because I realized that I didn't want to have a path from the house to the door because then they wouldn't be able to get to all the objects that I'm going to place here in a few seconds. I do a fire pit in the front, and I do gardening pots in the front, and I do an easel, some skill leveling items in the front, and then in the backyard you'll find in a few more slides that I just do more entertainment type stuff. All right, so I'm fixing the walls indoors, and it doesn't necessarily match the blueprint to a T, but the placement of everything does match the blueprint. So it's living room, dining room, kitchen, all in one flowy area, which is the section that I'm working on here. The kitchen is in the back, and I'll eventually take out one of those windows and I put a door there to lead to the new backyard once we download it. I like the different wall textures that I inevitably put into this build. So I have brick, I have wood paneling, and I have regular like paint and wallpaper in some rooms as well. I really wanted to take advantage of the blackboards as a back piece or a backsplash in the kitchen, but I think I do end up with it. It's just not the way I really pictured it in my mind, but it works out in the end, and I hope you guys like that idea. I do a little eat-in breakfast area in the kitchen, but what I like about this kitchen is not only the colors and the rustic feel to the kitchen, but I also put in like a winery type thing. You'll see me, I start out with one and then I put in two, and I just like the idea that the family that owns this home is into making wine, and I feel like even though it's a small house, it's a house for entertainment, because I go all out with the dining room and I put like, I think it's like 6 to 8 places in the dining table. You'll see that in a few seconds, but I really feel like it's a house that the Sims that own it just love having guests over and love entertaining. So I have that winery rack in there. I do actually make the kitchen a little bit bigger because I find that I put a grandfather clock eventually in the, here's where I'm putting the backsplash. I just like the look of the backsplash here, and when I make the kitchen a little bigger, the backsplash gets kind of wonky. I think I make do with it, but if you don't like it, feel free to take it out when you download the house and do something else with the backsplash. You're more than welcome to do so. Why do I make the kitchen bigger? I think, oh yes, I put the grandfather clock in one of those posts, and then when I play test it, my Sim couldn't get around the counters at all, so I had to just make the kitchen a little bit bigger. And you'll notice too that when you download this house, I do the living room in kind of like an angled aspect, but when I when I play tested it, the Sim actually could not get into the sofa to sit down. So I push it out just a tad. You won't notice the difference when you download the house, if you do. I'm doing I found this image for a cottage decor, like living room decor on Pinterest. And I loved the thought of having like a brick backing to the fireplace, and it was surrounded by candles. It was absolutely gorgeous. This on very cozy, non-typical type of furniture. So very worn furniture, very worn looking wicker, wood furniture to make it more cottagey feel. And I do focus a lot on lights and candles and just make the cottage feel very warm and inviting. Here's where I'm playing with the merging of the tables, and so it is a 6-place setting, and you'll find that I use a lot of the debug items to make it look like the dining room is ready to go for visitors. Like I use the treasure maps as they're gonna be like the napkins. Put plates, I put silverware, I put wine glasses, and it gives it that cottagey, like inviting feel. I don't know what it is about that table, but I absolutely love it. I start off with the office in this nook in the kind of foyer area, and then I inevitably move that out of there and put it in the master bedroom or the only bedroom, and just put a nice little reading nook in there, because that will turn out to be like the foyer / reading nook for the family that lives here. You can absolutely add more floors to this if you're feeling froggy. I love the dangly things on the mirror. I usually put sconces on my mirrors to give it different backings, but I found that those flower pot hangy thingies look great on there too. So I just went to town when I did 3 of them in this build. I hope you guys like that. What am I doing? I'm going to different parts of the room and adding knickknacks as I see them in the queue. I do that quite frequently when I build. I'm like, oh, this will look great in this room and that room, especially when you start defining the theme and the decor style in your rooms. As you progress through that queue, you'll see things that you want to place in other rooms, and feel free to do that as well. The bathroom is very country feeling. I like my vanities, so I incorporated a vanity in this room as well. I'm assuming that there will be a female sim that lives here, but it could be any sim that just likes to keep up with their looks, I guess, is absolutely fine. You'll find that all of my vanities are just chock full of knickknacks and hodgepodgery things. I messed with the curtains in the bathroom a little bit, but I decided to go with those valances. The bedroom, I do add a wardrobe, and I add a closet, an interactable closet, and so you'll find that the house gets expanded a little bit in that area. You see that I did that there, but here's where I'm making the kitchen just a little bit bigger, and that messes with that window, so I just put a clock in there instead. I removed the window and put a clock in the living room, dining room area. So the bedroom, I love the color scheme. I love the rich dark chocolate in comparison to the white and the cream in that room. And here's where I'm fixing all the extra parts of the home, and I just like the way that looks. It gives it an even more cottagey feel. It makes it look like there is a second floor when there isn't a second floor. So again, if you like this home and you download it and you want to add to it, that's absolutely fine. If you do, I'd love to see how it turns out. So send me a pic in Twitter or on Facebook. I'd love to see it. This is where I moved I'm trying to play with a backsplash again, because moving the kitchen, making it a little bit bigger, kind of messed up my game plan. I love, as you can tell with the last few builds that I've done, I just love filling up a room. I don't like any empty spaces. I feel like there's something missing when there's empty spaces. So here you'll find that I'm uploading it to the gallery, and then I'm like, you know what? I need a little bit more space. So here I'm downloading it to a 30 by 40 lot, and then inevitably I start working on the backyard. Again, the backyard, I really focused on doing a lot of entertainment type stuff, because I feel like this cottage is definitely, it's almost like a bed and breakfast or a rental unit, or where you're going to have a lot of friends over all the time. So I took out that window and I added in a door, and I started putting ivy in the house. And I don't smother the house with ivy like I'm used to. And in fact, you'll find me going into my old habits and smothering it with ivy in the front. And then I'm like, let me back up a little bit. I feel like every one of my house has bangs with ivy. And I just have to, get out of the 80s, get up with the actual times. And I do back off from the ivy a little bit. So I'm doing a little bit of landscaping in the backyard, in the new backyard. I added in that fancy tree. I love this tree. It's from the movie stuff pack. It's one of my favorite stuff packs. The other stuff pack that I really, really enjoy is the last stuff pack that we got, and I want to say that's the backyard stuff pack. And I like it for the buy build mode stuff. So here I am. See what I mean about putting bangs in the house, and then I'm like, I do that in every build. So I remove it. I'm like, yeah, let's keep it classy, San Diego. let's keep it simple. And that's what I tried to do with this build. Keep it simple, even though I do clutter the heck out of this house. It's part of my decor style is to really use as much knickknacks as I can to give the house that warm and inviting feel. I'm trying to not soup up the backyard too much, because it is a cottage. I didn't want to go all out, even though technically I did. But I'm trying that barbecue area, I used the most simple barbecue that I could find in the queue. And then I add those tables to put knickknacks, like barbecuing knickknacks out there. And then I like my outdoors area to have like one running water, like a fountain. And I guess that likens to my childhood. My mom had a quote unquote secret garden in our house in Puerto Rico. And it was just literally heaven back there. And it was a place to like lay on your hammock and listen to the birds chirping and your waterfall just spewing water. And it was the most relaxing area on earth. Really made you feel safe. It took you to a different place. And sometimes you just need to go to a different place in your brain so that you can recharge, re-energize, refocus, and relax. This area I'm doing here, you can absolutely tear it down if you don't like the idea, but I wanted to do like an outdoors, like movie theater sitting area. I don't know that I like that the fireplace is elevated so high, but because I have the cottage foundation up, I couldn't do anything about this in particular. But I do like the fact that I have an outdoors areas where I can invite my friends over and we can watch a movie. I wanted to put a popcorn popper out there, but the table didn't let me. So if you guys want to switch out the table, you'll see what I'm talking about in a little bit. I do have like a lemonade stand out there and some other things, but it'd be really nice if that popcorn popper was out there right by the movie station. I think that would be really cool. There, that's what I'm talking about, that table right there. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So I try and decorate this area, and I do light up the house and I light up the backyard. So at night you can actually see what the frick is going on. I really do love those lights that came with the backyard stuff pack. It's just the string lights. They're just gorgeous. I love them. I'm doing up the tree a little bit, and I think this is it. I'm looking to see what it looks like at night, and I'm about to wrap up the build in just a few seconds. Guys, thanks for your patience with me this last couple weeks as I recharge and re-energize. I promise I'm not dropping my stories. They'll be back in full swing in a little bit. Give me a few more weeks and I will be right back at it. But in the meantime, enjoy these little hodgepodgey videos that I put together for you guys. The builds and the one and done stories, they're a lot of fun to do, and they take me out of that, that routine. But anyway, thank you. Virtual hugs. I appreciate you guys. Enjoy this build if you do download it. Let me know what you guys think of it. I appreciate you so, so, so much. I'll talk to you super soon. Bye.